A good Thursday evening to you. I am First Alert meteorologist David Ernst here with a live weather update on this Thursday evening. If you're watching this on the WBAY TV2 page, you can always head over to my page as well. It's David Ernst, WBAY meteorologist, and follow me there. And I always would encourage you to download our free WBAY First Alert weather app as well. Got the QR code for that right underneath the video here. So if you're watching this on a desktop, laptop, something like that, you can pull out a smartphone and point the camera right there at the QR code and download that for free. You'll notice that we do have a line of showers and some thunderstorms coming in on First Alert Viper Max, maybe getting in a little earlier than it looked previously this evening. A line of storms has kind of pushed through Waupaca County, Waushara County at this point. We're seeing some lighter rainfall just starting to get into parts of Winnebago and Outagamie counties. Something that we'll certainly notice over the course of this evening, those storms, as expected, have been weakening as they get closer to our area. So that is a trend that bodes well. In fact, we even talked about that if you were watching us during the 6 o'clock newscast as the storms were crossing the border from Iowa and Minnesota into western and southwestern Wisconsin. They were already starting to lose some of those signs of intensity. We didn't have any severe thunderstorm warnings get carried over. Lightning was diminishing, so that was, again, all a good sign that we're heading in a favorable direction, that we'll see some much-needed rainfall tonight, but unlikely at this point that we would be dealing with severe weather. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look here at First Alert Viper Max, and I'll zoom the map around and we'll kind of take a little radar tour here. Nancy, good to see you on here from Shawano. You've got some at least light rainfall not too far away. You might even see a little bit of thunder, or I should say hear a little bit of thunder, see a little bit of lightning there off in the distance. Kevin, yeah, I would expect that most of this activity does get to the Lake Michigan shoreline. Probably not even as strong as it is right now, and it at this point I would say what we're looking at south of Wittenberg, kind of approaching the Clintonville area, or just to the west of Clintonville, east of Iola. Yes, there's some heavy rainfall in it. Maybe there's a little bit of pea-size hail, something like that. 30-mile-per-hour wind gust was the last estimate put out on the special weather statement from the National Weather Service here, with that little cluster of storms in Waushara, Waupaca, and Shawano counties. So, all in all, we're not looking at anything too intense right now. We do have some heavy rainfall, 9, 7, 8, 9 lightning strikes. So, between 5 and 10 lightning strikes in a given 5-minute period. And that's through the entirety of what you see on your screen there. So we've had a handful there in Waupaca County. I can see a few more south of Stevens Point, kind of into northern parts of Waushara and Marquette counties. So there's some thunder and lightning in the area. The heavy rainfall is certainly going to be a concern for a brief time. I wouldn't really expect much in the way of a flooding threat, just given how dry it has been recently. There are still more numerous lightning strikes with the storms back to the southwest, but as has been the case through most of the evening, I suspect that we will see these storms continue to weaken as they get closer to the Fox cities and getting into eastern parts of Wisconsin. Nonetheless, it is still a complete line of showers and storms coming through. Predictor earlier on had kind of broken things apart, and I really don't think that that's going to happen as it moves eastward. So I would expect steady rainfall anywhere from the upper Michigan border right down. By the time the storms pivot northward, it's possible that they'll just be a little south of Madison and Milwaukee. But regardless, I would say anyone in our typical coverage area, so that's Fond du Lac and Sheboygan, northward through the Fox cities and to the upper Michigan border, you are going to see some rainfall tonight. Now, it's going to vary. I would expect the higher amounts coming areas west, northwest of the Fox Valley. I do think that the storms will continue to kind of weaken and diminish as they push eastward, and so that is going to limit the rain potential as the storms move farther to the east as well. So let's get into the forecast then with First Alert Pinpoint Predictor here, and we will take you through the next couple of hours. So, Predictor has a pretty decent handle. The 9 o'clock, maybe it's doesn't have the rain quite as far to the east through Waushara, southern Waupaca counties, but it's tough to argue with the placement of those showers getting into the Shawano area up towards Anigo with some heavier rainfall. So over the next couple of hours, we'll see those storms continue to press farther to the east. So here we are at 11 o'clock. Some light rainfall perhaps around Appleton and Green Bay on the southern fringes of that little complex that we were looking at, the little bulging area getting into the North Woods. Steadier rainfall, Oconto, Marinette counties probably pushing into upper Michigan by that time. We'll see the trailing edge of the rainfall just getting into Waushara and Waupaca, Marquette, Green Lake counties. Predictor continues to try and diminish things. I would expect that the rain probably holds together a little bit better than Predictor shows here. I may switch this model run up at 10 o'clock, perhaps look at the high-res rapid refresh, see if it holds things together. Just given how the line looks right now, I don't know that it quite fizzles out just like this. I think we do see things hold together towards the lakeshore. But going through the rest of the night, once this initial wave passes through, there won't be a whole lot behind it. We'll see some cloud cover, maybe a lingering shower here or there on Friday morning, but you'll notice as we get towards the lunch time frame there, early afternoon, skies are already clearing out, and maybe we see a stray shower bubble up somewhere during the afternoon. You see a little bit of green just kind of dotting the map right along Highway 64 there between Antigo and Lakewood, but there's not going to be a widespread rain or a storm threat into Friday evening, and that should be welcome news for anyone that has a high school football game to attend. Operation Football will likely go off without a hitch, and you probably don't need the longer sleeves like you did a week ago. No preview of fall in this forecast, or I guess maybe that was 2 weeks ago at this point that we were dealing with that little fall preview. It's been rather hot over the last week. So skies will be turning clear if they're not already clear by the time those football games are kicking off, and then a humid evening would be anticipated with mild temperatures because of the higher humidity, although I would say that the lows tonight probably are warmer than what we experience on Friday night into Saturday morning. It looks like the humidity is going to drop off as we head into Saturday. Joseph, I would, even though Predictor showed the rain dropping off, I suspect it will hold together. Like I was saying earlier, I'll probably end up switching out that model run with something else as we get closer to our 10 o'clock show here. It looks formidable enough right now that I don't think it fizzles out altogether. So likely that we will see some rainfall coming on through. Here is the forecast. These numbers actually come from the National Weather Service as opposed to a computer weather model. And actually this would be the next 48 hours, not by Sunday, which I suppose this would be by Sunday because the bulk of any rain that we see would be tonight. There may be some late night storms on Saturday night, but I would expect that most of us are dry at least during the day Saturday and for most of the day on Friday. So of the numbers that you see on your screen, the 1, 2, 3/10 of an inch around the Fox Cities, that is coming down tonight. There could be some additional rain later in the forecast period here, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The timing of the steadiest, heaviest rainfall is still a bit uncertain. We'll show you I won't do the split screen, but we'll just show you the GFS and the European models just so you can see where the differences are. Essentially, there's been a little bit of a southward shift in where a frontal boundary may stall out. At least that's the way guidance is looking right now. And I don't know why my precipitation is not animating. Let's take a look here. Yeah, latest run. Oh, that's why it was set on 12Z today. Let's just set that to yesterday. All right. So you can see the round coming through tonight. Over the course of the day Friday, most of the steady rain out over lower Michigan, pushing away from us. You'll see a little round fire up off to our northwest on Saturday afternoon, evening, and then kind of dive through western Wisconsin. And then on Sunday, Predictor keeps the bulk of the steadier rainfall to our south, and even during the day Monday, kind of has that same flavor to it. So this is definitely farther south than where guidance was last night. And you'll see that the American GFS has also changed things up just a little bit from its earlier forecast. And brings things in much earlier on Saturday and kind of makes it look like the most widespread rain is Saturday and into Sunday. And I don't have a whole lot of confidence in either one of those solutions coming to fruition. So it's kind of a wait-and-see approach here basically what I'm doing is kind of combining these models together in my head, and also just kind of keeping the rain chances lower on any one day in particular, just because right now it's difficult to pin down these specifics of when we should see the steadiest rainfall. So again, here the GFS, what you'll see as it develops some rain and storms right through our area on Saturday night, continues them through a good part of the day Sunday, and then has us relatively dry with everything staying to our south Monday and Tuesday. So that's why I say there's been a notable southward shift in terms of the storm track as far as things go for Monday and Tuesday. So hopefully we'll get some better data into the system tomorrow and have a little bit firmer idea of exactly when the steadiest rainfall will be, or if it continues to kind of push south of the area, and then we'd be able to say that okay, well, it looks like what was looking like a more widespread soaking rain chance just isn't going to materialize, and instead will be totally south of that frontal boundary, totally to the north of a stalled frontal boundary, which would then lead to the cool down. I'm pretty confident that the cool down does happen, as we've been forecasting and first alerting you to for the last week, that it would be, as we get into Sunday, Monday, that we start to see things transition out of this hot and at times humid weather pattern that we have been in. Tomorrow and Saturday are still going to be warmer days. We're going to be muggier on Friday compared to Saturday. Saturday is going to be the warmer of the 2 days, but it should be less humid, although when you factor it all together, the humidity higher on Friday, even though it's slightly cooler. Both days probably end up being just a little bit uncomfortable. By the time we get into Sunday, though, it's going to be a mostly cloudy day, and I would expect at least a round of showers or storms passing on through it. If I would say both models kind of favoring Sunday morning versus Sunday afternoon or evening, but then we'll see low pressure track up from the south, and again, we're still 3-4 days out here in terms of when anything would move in, so there's a lot of time here for things to shift around and kind of come into better agreement. Let's see, what time is it now? Going on 9:20, so I got to get an update cut here for the 24/7 Weather Channel and get a few other things in line. Like I said, I may switch out the model run that you saw on Predictor here for something else, because I think those storms do hold together right through the Fox Valley and towards the lakeshore this evening, or late tonight, I guess I should say at this point, and into early Friday morning. Overall, the risk for severe weather is looking low. There might be a few stronger storms in the mix with 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts and some really small hail. Wouldn't expect any tornadoes to spin up with this kind of weather tonight, and I would say at this point it is unlikely that we would have any severe thunderstorm warnings issued in our area unless things really take a major uptick in terms of intensity. So what you can look forward to close out the work week and get into the weekend is more 80s continuing. I believe that will make 11 days in a row. I'll have to, might be a topic of discussion tomorrow at 4:30 with, I think Cammie's going to be filling in for Chris regarding what the record is for the number of consecutive 80-degree days in September. I'm kind of curious to look that one up myself. So we'll check that out for tomorrow perhaps. Then for the second half of the weekend and the start of next week, still looking like temperatures will turn seasonable. At this point, I would not call any one of those days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, a washout, but it is possible that chances for rain will bump up significantly on one of those days and perhaps drop significantly on another as we get into a little bit better agreement here on when that heaviest rainfall would come down. Regardless, it is going to turn cooler. Highs will generally run in the upper 60s and lower 70s in the extended forecast after Saturday, which is normal for this time of year. The average high, in fact, tomorrow is 70 degrees right on the dot. So we'll be right in that ballpark. So hope you have a great Thursday night. Stay safe, and if I don't see you on Action 2 News at 10 o'clock, well, we'll be here tomorrow. So catch you then, and you'll have Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon updating you here with the forecast starting at 4:30 on Action 2 News in the morning.